one object or your objects that create your model that you want to keep, take the time to position your camera. It'll help when you need to reset your view because you'll be able to press the 0 button to go to the camera view. This particular model is great because it even has the cosmetic liquid as a separate object. This is perfect if the outer material is going to be a glass or a clear plastic or some other transparent material. This model already has UV unwrapped textures, but a lot won't, so I'm going to delete all those and start from scratch for added realism in this tutorial. So select the first texture that you're going to do. I'm going to do a really easy label one. So just like with our cubes, we go into the edit mode by pressing the tab key. The first shape here doesn't need any seams, so let's just select all the faces and mesh UV unwrap. Get into the UV image editor if you haven't already done so. This next bit, we're going to check our UV maps aren't squashed or skewed. So instead of bringing in an image, we're going to bring in a color grid, which has colored squares and labeled with numbers and letters. In the UV image editor, select new, and then in the type, select color grid and then OK. In the 3D view, make sure you have the materials view selected so you can see the image displayed. Don't worry that it doesn't display yet, we haven't hooked up the nodes. In the node editor, select new and then bring in an image node with add texture, image texture. Use the image icon to find the color grid. It'll probably be labeled untitled unless you renamed it, but that's okay for our purposes. Now you can see if the square 2D texture is displaying properly as squares on the 3D view or if they're squashed. So if they're squashed, go to the UV image editor and rescale the whole UV map on the X or Y axis until the squares are in proportion on the 3D view. Before we export the UV map to use it for our own texture, rescale if necessary to bring the entire UV map into the box. You'll be able to export this as we did before by going to UV's Export UV Layout. That was essentially a nice easy flat label sticker, so let's see how it works with something a little more challenging. So select the bottle object and press tab to move into the edit mode. Select all the faces and go ahead and UV unwrap the whole thing just to see what happens. We can clearly see this isn't going to work, and the reason is we haven't set our seams. So take a good look at your object and try to figure out where it would be good to place seams. We want curved objects to unwrap to a 2D in a flat manner to avoid skewed textures. But also we need to take into consideration where we're going to be placing our textures, where we want features on the bottle, and from what angle we're going to be viewing our object from in the 3D world. In this example, there are a lot of faces on the curved top of the bottle, which is making it really difficult for me to put in a simple back seam up the whole length of the bottle. So I ended up abandoning that idea, choosing instead to unwrap the simple cylinder around the bulk of the bottle and then to keep the top, inside and bottom as they are. When you're selecting edges, do try to press Alt or Control or Option as you right click to select an edge, as this might automatically select what's called an edge loop. Unfortunately, this didn't work in this model, so I had to individually select each edge, and you might have to do that. Remember to mark or clear a seam by going to Mesh, Edge, Mark or Clear Seam. When you think you've got your seams right, try UV unwrapping your mesh. You might have to do several iterations of this before your mesh is right. So when you see the result, you should be able to decide whether to tweak it a little bit or abandon that unwrapping method for a different choice of seams, or maybe you've got it all squared away. For example here, I realised my seams at the top and bottom of the simple cylinder section weren't quite right somewhere because it should be a square shape or a rectangle shape. So I zoomed in on the 3D model to find the mistakes and to rectify them. Once you're happy, bring in the colour grid again and adjust the separate mesh pieces as necessary. You can select link faces, or what's called an island, by pressing L, and this does come in useful when you're selecting different sections of your 3D unwrapped UV map. For unimportant faces or islands that you don't see, you can make them smaller on your UV map so that you can concentrate on the important sections. So for example, the bottom and the top and inside I can make quite small so that I can concentrate on the main part of the model. Sort the nodes again for this second shape and resize your islands to have the correct proportion. So something that is square on the UV map should look square on your 3D view. So manipulate the 2D UV map in order to make that happen. So once you've done this for all your shapes, your UV maps are now ready to export, and that will provide you with a template for your designs. In summary, for each object, you mark the seams, unwrap, apply a colour grid, and then ensure good proportions on that colour grid, and then export the final UV map. It's a fairly simple process in that it follows the same pattern each time. The complexity comes with knowing how to unwrap a 3D object by placing seams in the correct place and navigating and taking the time to place those seams correctly.